small things feel different lately. That's the first sign you've entered a new timeline. Every day, millions of people wake up to the same routine: commute, work, scroll, sleep. On paper, life looks stable, even successful. But inside, there's a quiet dissonance. A gnawing sense that something is missing. That the life you've built, though comfortable, is not the life you were meant to live. That whisper of discontent, that invisible pressure, is your higher self signaling, you're ready for a new timeline. The problem is not the external world. It's how most of us unconsciously surrender our power. We operate on autopilot, reacting to circumstances, social pressures, and ingrained habits. We follow a path designed for safety and survival, but not necessarily for purpose, passion, or true alignment. Many of us have tried conventional methods to fill this emptiness: self-help books, motivational videos, affirmations, even spiritual routines. But most of these tools scratch only the surface. They can make you temporarily feel inspired, but the underlying patterns, fear, self-doubt, limiting beliefs, remain intact. In the heart of this struggle lies a fundamental misunderstanding: reality is not fixed. Science shows that at the quantum level, particles exist in a state of probability until observed. Similarly, your life exists as a field of infinite possibilities until you consciously align your energy, thoughts, and actions. Yet most people live as if their timeline is predetermined, reacting, waiting, hoping for outside forces to change their circumstances. This disconnect manifests in anxiety, dissatisfaction, and the sense that life is happening to me, not through me. Relationships feel unfulfilling, careers stagnant, financial goals elusive. Even moments of joy are fleeting, because they are not rooted in alignment, they are external dopamine spikes rather than internal resonance. Here's the harsh truth: staying in this mode keeps you trapped in cycles of mediocrity. You chase fleeting pleasures, trying to patch the emptiness with material gain or external validation. But the gap between desire and reality never closes, because you are working against the flow of your own frequency. Consider this: how many times have you set intentions, visualized, or manifested a goal only for it to slip away? The reason is simple: without deep alignment between your inner frequency and outer actions, the universe reflects what you believe, not what you superficially want. You might be focused on the desire, but your energy, subtle, quantum, vibrational, is sending a completely different signal. The problem is compounded by the fragmentation of modern life. We are told to separate science from spirituality, logic from intuition, action from presence. We see meditation as mystical fluff, and quantum physics as inaccessible theory. We don't realize that both are two sides of the same coin, one explaining the mechanisms, the other teaching the art of harnessing them. The painful truth: if you continue on autopilot, you will keep stepping into the same patterns, attracting the same circumstances, and living in a timeline dictated by old fears, habits, and outdated beliefs. You are not living your full potential, you are functioning below your frequency. But here's the key: that gnawing restlessness, that dissatisfaction, is not a problem. It's a signal. A sign that your consciousness is ready to expand. That your quantum self, the version of you capable of creating intentionally, is calling. The moment you notice this, you're at the threshold. The question becomes: will you stay in the old pattern, or will you step into a timeline where your inner power finally aligns with your outer reality? The choice is yours, and it begins with awareness. A few years ago, I felt trapped in a life that looked perfect to others but felt hollow inside. I had a stable career, a decent apartment, friends, and social approval. Yet every morning, I woke up with a pit in my stomach, a quiet whisper that said, there has to be more. I was chasing outcomes, money, recognition, relationships, but the more I chased, the emptier I felt. Then, late one night, I stumbled across a lecture on quantum physics. At first, I was skeptical: particles behaving like waves, entanglement, superposition. How could this possibly relate to my life? But the more I listened, the more I realized something extraordinary: the principles of quantum physics weren't confined to atoms, they were describing life itself. That the universe responds to observation. That reality is probabilistic, not fixed. That the act of attention alone has power. I began experimenting. I observed myself, my thoughts, feelings, and reactions, with unprecedented clarity. I realized that most of my life had been lived unconsciously, reacting to habits and fears instead of creating intentionally. Quantum physics gave me a language for something I had always felt intuitively: our consciousness can influence reality. But theory alone wasn't enough. I needed proof that this could work in the messy, real world. That's when I discovered countless stories of people who had shifted their realities through conscious intention and alignment. Sarah, a single mother drowning in debt, began a simple daily practice. Each morning, she visualized her life as she desired, not just the goal, but the feeling of having it. She felt abundance, security, and joy as though it already existed. Within months, she left a toxic job, started a small business, and her financial situation transformed. She said, "I didn't get what I wanted, I became who I needed to be first." James, struggling with chronic anxiety and self-doubt, dedicated 10 minutes a day to mindful observation of his thoughts. He became aware of the negative loops controlling his life. Slowly, he rewired his mind and energy. Opportunities that once felt impossible appeared effortlessly. His relationships improved, and he reported a profound sense of peace he hadn't felt in decades. A couple, stuck in recurring arguments and resentment, began practicing daily embodiment exercises, living as though they were already aligned, appreciated, and loving toward each other. Over months, patterns shifted. Old conflicts dissolved. Their home became a sanctuary of trust and connection. These discoveries weren't coincidences, they followed a pattern. The underlying truth became undeniable: reality mirrors your inner frequency. Your outer world is a reflection of your internal state. Thoughts, emotions, intentions, and energy align to manifest probabilities into reality. This was revolutionary. The knowledge that science and spirituality were not opposites, but partners, changed everything. Quantum mechanics explained the mechanics. Spirituality taught the art. Together, they offered a roadmap, not just to hope for change, but to actively create it. I realized that manifestation is not about forcing outcomes or controlling external circumstances. It's about mastering your inner world, observing your thoughts, clarifying your intentions, and embodying the energy of the reality you wish to experience. When your inner alignment is strong, the outer world cannot help but respond. From that point, I began to experiment deliberately. I mapped intentions, observed results, tracked patterns. Gradually, I noticed subtle yet undeniable shifts. Missed opportunities no longer blocked me, synchronicities became common, and decisions flowed effortlessly. The discovery was clear: we are co-creators of our own reality. The universe is not an obstacle, it is a collaborator. And here's the most important takeaway: this power isn't reserved for the enlightened or mystical. It's available to anyone willing to observe, align, and embody their highest self. The discovery is universal, but the application is deeply personal. After discovering that reality mirrors inner frequency, I realized knowing the truth was not enough. Knowledge alone does nothing. The next step is method: how to actively shift your life through quantum alignment and spiritual embodiment. This method is built around 3 pillars: observation, intention, and embodiment. Each pillar is a practical, daily tool for aligning your energy, thoughts, and actions with your desired reality. 1. Observation: become the conscious witness. Quantum physics teaches that the act of observation changes reality. The observer effect shows that particles exist in multiple possibilities until measured. Similarly, your life remains in potential until you consciously observe it. Exercise: daily mind scan. Sit quietly for 5 minutes each morning. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment. Notice patterns: fear, doubt, scarcity, or past traumas that unconsciously dictate your decisions. Simply observing shifts your awareness from reaction to conscious choice. Observation trains your mind to separate old conditioning from your true intentions, creating space for transformation. 2. Intention. Plant your quantum seed. Once you become aware of your internal state, you can choose where to direct your energy. Quantum mechanics shows that possibilities exist simultaneously. Your intention collapses potential into reality. Exercise. Felt intention. Write a clear intention, not just, I want money, but I intend to experience financial freedom, joy, and the ability to contribute generously. Close your eyes and feel it deeply in your body. Imagine the emotions of living that reality right now. Visualize scenarios in vivid detail, how you speak, act, and feel as the person who already lives that reality. This step activates your vibrational signature, sending a strong signal into the quantum field. The universe responds not to surface desires but to the energy you emit. 3. Embodiment. Live the frequency. Manifestation is not passive. The field doesn't respond to wishes, it responds to consistent energy and aligned action. Embodiment is living as if your desired reality is already true. Exercise. 7-day, as if, challenge. For the next week, act, think, and speak from your desired reality. If your intention is abundance, make decisions as though you already have financial freedom. If your intention is love or connection, show up fully present, generous, and confident in relationships. Adjust your daily habits, your posture, speech, energy, and mindset, to match the person you are becoming. Embodiment rewires subconscious patterns and aligns your vibrational frequency with your goals, making the external world naturally reflect your internal state. Bonus tools for accelerated shift. Quantum journaling. Each night, write down small signs or synchronicities you noticed. Track subtle changes. Awareness compounds manifestation. Energy reset. Whenever you feel fear, anxiety, or old patterns resurfacing, take 3 deep breaths, visualize light flowing through your body, and re-anchor into your intention. Guided visualization. Use 10-minute meditations focusing on seeing, feeling, and moving through your desired reality. Include all senses, touch, sound, smell, to fully activate the quantum field. The method is simple but powerful. Observe, intend, embody. Repetition builds neural pathways, rewires energy, and allows you to consistently collapse probabilities into your desired reality. Remember, this is not about magic or forcing the universe. It's about aligning your energy, thoughts, and actions with what you truly desire. The shift occurs naturally when your internal frequency matches your outer intention. The science is real. The spirituality is real. The power is yours. Once I began applying the method, observation, intention, embodiment, the changes weren't instantaneous. But subtle shifts started appearing almost immediately. A small shift in perspective, a slight adjustment in how I responded to challenges, a quiet awareness in my mind. And those small shifts began to accumulate, compounding into undeniable transformation. At first, it was internal. My anxiety, which had been a constant undercurrent, softened. My inner critic became a quiet observer rather than a tyrant. I noticed patterns that once controlled me, old fears, doubts, and self-sabotage, beginning to dissolve. I was no longer reacting to life, I was co-creating it. Externally, the universe began reflecting this inner alignment. Opportunities that I had overlooked or dismissed suddenly appeared. A friend casually mentioned a new business venture, a chance meeting led to a partnership I had been longing for. Situations that previously felt blocked or impossible were now flowing effortlessly. It was as if reality itself was rearranging to match my frequency. Personal relationships transformed as well. I stopped seeking approval or validation, and instead showed up authentically, aligned with my intentions. This shift changed everything. I began attracting people who resonated with my energy, supportive, loving, and conscious. Toxic patterns dissolved naturally, replaced by deeper, more meaningful connections. Let me share a story that illustrates this transformation vividly. Sarah, a single mother drowning in financial and emotional stress, began practicing the 3 pillars daily. Each morning, she observed her thoughts without judgment, wrote her intentions with clarity, and lived her daily life as if she already embodied her desires. Within months, she left a toxic job, started a small business, and experienced a complete turnaround in her finances and confidence. But the most profound change? She felt worthy, empowered, and alive in a way she never had before. Her reality shifted because her internal frequency shifted first. Another story, James, who had battled chronic anxiety for years, implemented the same method. He reported that within weeks, his internal state stabilized. He noticed opportunities for personal and professional growth that he had previously overlooked. Relationships improved, his career trajectory changed, and his sense of purpose became clear. Quantum alignment wasn't just theory, it was a tangible force affecting every aspect of his life. Even small shifts are powerful. The way you respond to a single interaction, the energy you bring into a room, the clarity of your intentions, these ripple through your reality. What was once impossible begins to feel natural. What felt heavy or stuck becomes fluid. This transformation is not just about external gains. It's about identity. Who you are internally changes how the world responds externally. Quantum manifestation works because it aligns your consciousness with the infinite field of possibilities. When your frequency matches the reality you desire, the universe can no longer resist showing it to you. Emotionally, spiritually, and physically, the results are profound. Fear and doubt give way to confidence. Scarcity gives way to abundance. Confusion gives way to clarity. The feeling of being small or powerless disappears, replaced by the realization that you are a co-creator of reality, capable of navigating life with precision and grace. The transformation is both subtle and monumental. You may not notice it day by day, but the cumulative effect is undeniable. Every decision, every thought, every action now carries weight because it resonates with your quantum alignment. This is what happens when you step fully into the method. Your internal state becomes a magnet for your desires, and the universe responds in perfect harmony. Life stops feeling like a struggle and starts feeling like a dance, fluid, aligned, and abundant. Now that you've seen the problem, discovered the method, and experienced transformation, what's next? This section is about mission. Your mission. The mission that the universe is calling you to. We are living in a pivotal moment. Many of us feel it, an invisible tug towards something greater, a subtle vibration that something in our life is ready to change. That whisper is not random, it is a signal. A call from your higher self, from consciousness itself. Step into your quantum power. Align. Create. Live fully. Your mission is not about chasing external validation or following societal scripts. It's about remembering who you truly are, a conscious, quantum being. A creator capable of shaping your reality with clarity, intention, and energy. This is not hypothetical, it's science and spirit converging. And now it's available to you. Here's the truth, the world needs people who are awake. People who understand that transformation starts within and ripples outward. Every thought, every decision, every aligned action you take shifts not only your timeline but the collective field. Your quantum alignment creates resonance that can inspire, uplift, and catalyze change around you. This is why your mission matters. It's not only personal, it's universal. When you choose alignment over fear, presence over distraction, creation over reaction, you become a beacon. You signal to the universe and to those around you that another reality is possible. How to step into your mission? Commit daily to your quantum practice. Observation, intention, embodiment, use these tools every day. Treat them not as a ritual but as a lifestyle. Share your journey. Your story, your experiences, your lessons, they create resonance. People need to see that transformation is possible, and your authenticity becomes the bridge. Align your actions with your intentions. Every choice should reflect the reality you are building. Your energy must match your desires. Consistency transforms possibility into manifestation. Trust the process. Quantum manifestation is not instant magic, it is a natural unfolding. Small shifts compound into monumental change. Notice synchronicities, embrace opportunities, and keep your frequency high. Your mission is to embody the highest version of yourself, every day. To live as if the life you desire is already here. To be present, conscious, and deliberate in every thought, emotion, and action. This alignment is contagious. It inspires those around you, creating a ripple effect that extends far beyond what you can see. Imagine a world where more people are awake to their own quantum power. Where each individual consciously creates, aligns, and uplifts. The timeline shifts. Collective consciousness rises. Reality itself becomes more abundant, more harmonious, more aligned with truth. Your mission is part of that shift. And here's the most urgent message: there is no better time than now. Every moment you delay is a moment spent in an outdated timeline. The call is here. The energy is alive. Your next reality is waiting. Step forward boldly. Embody your highest self. Apply the method. Live the transformation. And as you do, know this: the universe is not passive, it responds to your frequency. You are not alone. You are powerful. You are a co-creator. And your mission is to awaken, align, and manifest a reality worthy of your quantum potential. If you feel this calling, start today. Commit to observation, intention, and embodiment. Share your journey in the comments. Subscribe for more quantum spiritual tools. And take one small, deliberate action right now toward the life you've always imagined. Your new timeline is not a dream, it is your next reality. Step into it.